Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm so glad you could join me tonight. Well, I mean, I've only met you recently, so I didn't really expect that you'd come, all in all. So when you did, it's a bit crazy, but I mean, I gave it a shot, and well, now you're here, and kind of still is blowing my mind a little bit that you decide to come, but oh well. I just happen to have enough charm, you say. Well, I guess if that's what brought you here, then I can't complain. So, how has the party been going for you tonight? Good, good. I've also had a good time at the party, but it got a bit busy with all the people and noise, so I came outside. Is that what brings you out here as well? You're funny, you know. But I'm glad I can be a partial reason. But yeah, no, it did get really loud in there, and I guess it was just an influx of new partiers, I suppose. When we came in earlier, there really weren't too many people, but now I kind of just can't hear my own thoughts in there. It's a little insane, but I mean, hey, that's New Year's for you. Filled with loudness and a lot of people. Oh, yeah, it is really nice outside. I honestly thought that it would be a little too cold. Thought I might regret not bringing my jacket, but it's actually the perfect temperature outside. In fact, it's on the warmer side. Yeah, well, that's what dumping a large amount of CO2 into the atmosphere will do for you. Well, we shouldn't really be thinking about that now. It can be so dismally grim, and it's a new year, for crying out loud. We ought to be thinking about new opportunities, new hopes, new dreams, a refreshment of all possibilities. You know, that's what I think New Year's is all about. I mean, you might have a different interpretation of what the events of New Year's mean. Kinda similar. That makes sense, I guess, There's not really much interpretation that can come from celebrating a new year coming around. It is very clear in its purpose. However, one thing I find fascinating, as an interesting thing to speculate upon, is the placement of New Year's. I mean, as you've likely heard, other cultures celebrate the New Year's further down in the month, which, they call a lunar New Year's, in line with their lunar calendars. So, this brings me to the question, why do we place the solar New Year's in the middle of winter? It can really be placed at any point in our calendar, I think. I just never thought it made sense. Personally, I think, in all honesty, it should be at the beginning of March, as winter changes to spring, similar to how the Romans had done it. Then the idea of new beginnings would make more sense, as life really would be having new beginnings, instead of the same old dead winter. Not only would this fix that concept, but it would also realign the months of September, October, November, and December to their original place as the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month, respectively. I mean, that's just kind of how it happens to work out. And as I said, any date on the calendar will have a point in time that is exactly a year away, because that's just how it works as the Earth rotates. So it doesn't make sense why we can't have it there, because having it at the beginning of March really is ideal in the fact that not only does it not matter where we place the New Year's, but also it fits in more thematically because March has spring begin in it. Of course, it doesn't land exactly on spring, but did I start rambling? I apologize. I just have a great deal of opinion on this topic. I mean, all in all, time has always fascinated me. It's just a weird thing I think about a lot. I don't know why. I mean, time, it's all too impressive in the first place. It's very grandiose in how we perceive it in the mind, but when you break it down to its essentials, it's simply a construct created to understand motion. But it also is an incredible, integral part to our understanding of the universe, because that's how we perceive motion, as something flowing in time, not just as something moving. It is the second half of the space-time continuum. I can certainly talk about it for a long time, but I really shouldn't. It's looking to be close to the New Year's countdown. Well, I thought I happened to notice the time, and I just wanted to break my speech short because, well, there is just this tradition that I've heard about the countdown, and, well, I don't know. You've probably heard it. Yes, the kiss. Well, I was wondering, since you were so gracious to come with me here, I would like to extend forward another invitation. Well, that invitation would be to share a New Year's kiss. Oh, you would. That's amazing. Well then, perhaps we should get a little closer. It really can start any minute now, unless you brought a clock outside. Then we'd know the exact time. No, you didn't. Well, I forgot my watch, and my phone is dead. So I suppose we will just have to wait for them to start counting. Anyways, that would just be better. Anticipation really helps build up the feeling. Alright. This is really nice, being outside and having you this close. Honestly, I wish this could last forever. Oh no, I didn't mean it literally. Oh, well, I guess I have to explain now, don't I? Well, this is going to sound a bit far-fetched, but I am a time traveler. I use the word traveler a bit loosely. I can freely traverse through time, and I traverse through space according to my ever-changing position. That is to say, when I travel back in time, my position in time will be connected to my relative position on Earth in order to prevent any harm from coming to me. So, as the Earth moves back, I also move back relative. I wouldn't want to be lost in some random place in space and probably lost to my death. Anyways, I know this seems crazy, honestly, but I can understand if it is confusing. I can understand if you're confused. I mean, I seem and look like an ordinary man. I don't wear whatever those fictional time travelers wear. I've seen so many of them just carry around ridiculous amounts of watches, and pocket watches and clocks, and it's crazy. I just look like a simple pedestrian. But yet somehow I can time travel? I know, it's crazy, but you shouldn't be so concerned about it. If this freaks you out, I'm fine with that. If this changes your opinion on me, I am fine with that. I'll just unfreeze time and let you go free. I'm sorry for getting you stuck here. It doesn't usually happen like this, but it really is a quick fix. Wait, what? You want me to keep it frozen for a bit longer? Well, if you insist, but I do have one question. Why do you want me to do that? Oh, you just want to spend more time in the quiet of the frozen time. I can understand. It really is quite refreshing to have time just slow down and stop. I often freeze time for myself just to take a break from it all. Sometimes when you already have a disrupted flow of time like I do, it can be so troublesome when you feel time fly by so fast because events are just coming and going in a blink of an eye. And you know that just slowing it down won't get rid of the stress, so you just give yourself a bit of time to rest. I mean, you would understand if you knew, I suppose. It really is hard to explain without having experienced it yourself. Anyways, I've realized I've been rambling on for a good bit, so do you have anything to say on the matter? I mean, you did want to keep it frozen. Oh, that's very interesting. Well, I'm glad you think of me in such a way. But why would you need to keep time frozen to confess such feelings? Oh, you don't want to spoil the New Year's kiss. So, that's good to hear. We're still doing that. And honestly, that's a very considerate thought. But that is also very interesting. You could have just told me afterwards. Oh, it's better just to do it now. I suppose you're right. Well, with that confession, should I resume time? Oh, get a little closer. Alright, I suppose that makes sense. Here, I guess I can embrace you like this, if you would like. This is nice. So shall I unfreeze time and let the people inside begin their count? Oh, well, looks like they've begun, so shall we? That was lovely. I can rewind if you want me to do it again. I know, it's a special moment that should only happen once. It's our first kiss, after all. But I was just kidding. But, I suppose that makes it official. You are now my partner. Partner in crime, partner in time, whatever you want to call it, but, we are entangled in this mess for, I suppose, however long you would want. Oh, and you would like to make that for life? you say? We will just have to see about that. But I wouldn't be opposed to the idea.